Alternate picking can be very frustrating. It seems that for each player there's a different recipe. Steve Vai uses different picking patterns than Paul Gilbert, and Yngwie Malmsteen does his own thing, and so does Sean Petrucci. But it doesn't have to be frustrating. You have to find your own way, your own recipe, the one that works for you. One very effective way to achieve this is to study different players and the different ways they approach the same technique you want to learn. Almost every song on Passion and Warfare can keep us practicing for years. But the animal has this particular picking lick that it's not only great to learn, but it can also provide us with micro exercises that we can include in our alternate picking practice routine. So in today's video, I want to show you this lick and all the stuff you can do with it. So let's jump right into it. It's a heavily harmonized part on the record, probably an harmonizer or several overdubs. But today we will focus only on this section. So let's start dissecting this lick. The first pattern alone will give you a lot of options to practice. For example, let's take that same pattern and play it in a different place. You can move it somewhere else and create a new pattern. We are not following any scales here, just using this as a single string pattern that we repeat on every string. But now let's use it with a scale. Let's use it with C major and play the pattern in C major. You can use just any scale or any section of the scale of your choice. Now look at all the alternate picking exercises you can squeeze from one section of one lick. Let's go to the second picking pattern that appears in the lick. This one was the first that we just played, and then comes this one. And we can do exactly the same that we did with the previous one. Let's play on 6 strings. Let's change positions and play it somewhere else. You can play single string scales using this pattern. Now let's combine both patterns together, pattern number 1 and number 2. Let's go back to C major and do the same. So we are extracting like 10 different exercises from just one section of a lick. So learning directly from a Steve Vai picking lick, you get a glimpse of how he approaches his picking patterns, and you can benefit a lot from it. So there are 3 things you have to do in order to get the most out of this concept. Number 1, find a lick you like, divide it into sections, and then practice those sections as individual exercises or licks. Number 2, try to incorporate some sections of those licks you chose into your practice, your improvisation, and your solos. Number 3, the most important, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.